Hey everyone, welcome back and thank you for checking out this last video. Still on the topic of moral declension. I'm going to be closing up with the fear aspect. If you recall from the first video, I mentioned I had a lot of scattered notes, and so I hope I'm able to put these together now, or at least I hope I'm trying to make sense of it all. So again, in the first video, I was talking about moral declension in general, talking about faith and fear. And if you remember from the first episode, faith is just as infectious as fear. It just manifests slower. That's because the products of fear kind of instantaneously hit us, whereas the products of faith don't always hit us right away. So then in the second video, I went into doubt, and I briefly touched on double-mindedness with that doubt, which causes worry, which is what we're going to focus on today, which is worry. So we have fear, doubt, and this final video here of worry, and then we'll get into the faith side. I wanted to end on a more positive note, and just an FYI, I probably won't get to those faith videos until like the end of this year. Let's shoot for around the first video, let's say September or August. How about that? All right, anyway, I want to go ahead and, of course, give our... should have started with that, but oh well. This is a old video that I did if you look back on my YouTube channel, I think it was like 2 years ago, actually. So there's an old shoulder workout that I did. So I just wanted to try that again. Again, I wanted to emphasize more the topic on this video than the workout. So I will say this workout was a lot more challenging for me to do trying it this time. I just will honestly admit that. But I got it finished and knocked out. Anywho, let's go ahead and jump into the verses for this video. So I wanted to start with a verse that I did touch on in the first video in relationship to fear. Acts 26:29. Paul replied, "Short time or long, I pray to God that not only you, but all who are listening to me today may become what I am except for these chains." So that was just definitely a big key touch point emphasis for me as I was making the first video. I really liked how that stuck out. I kind of see that worry, every time we worry, it's like kind of having a chain, I mean, you look at these guys, they go buy these $1,000 chains and they're wearing them. I mean, come on now, you got to be worried. You might break it, someone might take it, you might lose it, so I feel like chains are kind of like worry. So I kind of found it interesting. He said, except for these chains, except for all this worry and all this doubt and all this fear, I just hope that you can become what I am. I think that's kind of what Paul was saying in that verse. So then we're going to move on to our second verse that I have here, which is James 1. It says, "But when you ask, you must believe and not doubt, because the one who doubts is like a wave of the sea, blown and tossed by the wind." All right, so we're going to just go ahead and touch back on the second video with double-mindedness, how that causes doubt. We don't want to tell people they're being double-minded just because they're not acting, let's say, how they should, or how one might view them to act. But we want to encourage them because we don't want to just, again, compound that doubt on top of the doubt that they may already be feeling within themselves. And of course, we're on our last verse here, and this is going to pertain to this video, which is going to be worry. Matthew 6:25. Of course, you should know this one. "Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, or what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes?" And I just really liked that verse. It's obviously one of my favorites. Pretty sure a lot of people would say the same. I also just want to touch on a devotional I saw, and that'll kind of sum this worry video up. I don't want to talk too much about it, but all in all, it was talking about how to fight fear. So it says, "How to fight fear. Think back to a time when you were genuinely scared. As much as we prefer to never experience fear, fear is a part of the human experience. But when we are afraid, we have options. We can panic, stress, get overwhelmed with worry, overthink every worst case scenario, and attempt to numb out the anxiety-inducing situation around us in unhealthy ways. Then it went to highlight Psalms 56:3. When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you. It picks back up and says, David refused to settle for scared. He resisted the urge to let fear have the final say. He decided to fight back with truth. And so can we. And so as I get ready to, like I said, in September, October, get into the faith portion, which is going to be faith, hope, and purpose. We're going to attempt it that way. We just want to eliminate worry. Again, we talked about fear, doubt, and worry in this first series. And these are just kind of the things that lead us to what would be start moral declension, or, actions that wouldn't be, most outcoming or profitable for our life to receive the gift of the word and the spirit. So again, we're trying to fight fear, keeping intact and knowing that doubt and worry are products of that. So if we can attack the basis of fear, we can avoid fear in and of itself. Again, as David said, fear is a part of life, but as we get better at pinpointing and seeing how it's entering, or we're allowing it to enter our lives, we can better attack it and resist it and fight moral declension. So I do appreciate everyone coming to check out this video and this whole series here. And again, I hope that made sense as I tried to put all these notes together. If you have any concerns or questions, actually feel free to drop in the comments. I don't really have a lot of followers, but I feel that if at some point someone comes across it, if you have any questions, I feel I must open up that door. This is actually the first time I've offered that. But again, ask questions, jump in the comments, check out the next video. We'll be back.